Hi, Tom. Can you see my screen now?
I can.
And the PPT is up?
Yep.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and put it into presentation mode?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, are we ready to start?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today, Data Decisions, Real-Time Business Intelligence with SAP. My name is Tom Hoffman. I'm the Director of Sales here at Silver Touch Technologies for North America. We have been an SAP partner for a little over 30 years now. We have over 1,400 qualified IT professionals on our staff. We have also successfully completed over 4,000 projects. We also have over 100 robotic process automation consultants on our staff, and this is true AI that we can provide our customers. And we've also been very successful in terms of implementing the SAP Business One implementations. We have over 125 of those. Before we start, I'm going to be offering the initial presentation in terms of what we offer and who we are. And then I plan on handing it over to Partik Ovadia, who is our SAP functional consultant, who's going to do the remaining of it. A little bit of housekeeping before we take off. We're going to mute our guests so that we don't get the normal background sound that we normally hear in most webinars. As we go through today's presentation, we encourage you to ask us questions in the chat room, in the chat rather, and then when we get to the end of the presentation, we'll answer all of those questions that you put into the chat for us. And so, and then we'll also reach out to you individually to make sure that we answer any potential questions that you have. So you can see on the screen, we've talked a little bit about who we are with over 1,400 qualified IT professionals on staff, over 4,000 successful projects, over 100 RPA, which is robotic process automation or true AI, and then over 125 SAP Business One implementations. You can also see at the bottom of the screen that not only do we have the normal SIO certifications in terms of how we run our business, but we're also a level 5 with CMMI for software development, which is the highest level of certification that you can receive. So not only we are partner for a couple of different products, but we're also a development house that can offer additional functionality for your organization. Partik, if you don't mind, can you move us to the next screen?
Yep.
Some of the services that we offer within our organization, this is just a small sampling of them. We offer many more than this, but we do digital transformation, Internet of Things, robotic process automation that we talked about, blockchain, and of course, AI solutions. We also offer cloud solutions, private cloud, public cloud, virtual desktop on the cloud, and cloud management. We actually have 3 of our own cloud hosting centers worldwide. We have one in India, we have one in London, and we also have one here in the United States over in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We feel that this gives us a much better way of supporting our customers so that we don't get the normal finger pointing that you get between the software vendor and the cloud provider because it's offered by one organization. And so it gives us a much better capability of supporting our customers, offering our services this way. We also offer modern workspace services like data center services, communication services, IT consulting, backup and disaster recovery, call center, and technology for the IP. Of course, the ERP solutions that we offer, we're an SAP Gold partner, so we offer the SAP Business One HANA solution. We also offer SAP S4 HANA, SAP SuccessFactors, and of course, our cloud hosting solutions for SAP that we discussed. Also offer enterprise software services, digital engineering, enterprise architecture, AWS, Azure, cloud development, mobile applications, and enterprise development type services that are provided through our organization and our well-trained staff of IT professionals, including managed security services. So we're talking cloud security, email security and protection, website security and applications protection, and everything that goes along with the managed security environment that we offer in terms of services for our customers. Next slide, please. And now these are the partners that we work with. This is just a few of the partners that we work with. As we mentioned, we are offering robotic process automation services or true AI, and we work with Automation Anywhere to provide those. We also work with UiPath and Power Automate. Of course, we're an SAP Gold partner, and have been very successful with the SAP platform. And we're also an Odoo software provider. And Odoo has a very good functionality system at a very affordable price. We mentioned that we offer our own cloud hosting services called Silver Cloud, and we work with Dell and other hardware companies. And we do some work with AWS for third-party backups and Azure, of course, to make sure that we're offering all the services that we can to our customer base. Next slide, Pratik.
Yeah.
This is our global footprint, rather. And our corporate office is in India, as you can see there. We also have an office in France, one in UK. We have an office in Toronto, Canada. And our office here in the United States is in Island, New Jersey, that we provide service and support for all of our customers here locally and worldwide. Next slide, please. These are the awards that we've won. We're an SAP Gold partner here in the United States. We're an also Odoo Silver partner, rather, and we're also a Microsoft Gold partner. So it gives us the ability to offer you options in terms of how you want to automate your organization. And as you can see, we were the winner of the Rookie of the Year at SAP in their Partner Summer in 2024. This was our first year here in the United States as we moved from Europe into here in the United States to establish our presence and continue the outstanding support and service that we provided in Europe and India over the last 30 plus years. Next slide, Pratik.
Yep.
These are just a sample of some of the customers that we're currently supporting. You may recognize some of these names: TVS, TriPack, who's in the pharmaceutical business, WaterTech, who builds those automatic machines that cleans the swimming pools. I'm sure you've heard of Scrub Daddy. They've been quite successful here in the United States. iPark and Icon Parking are both parking type facilities that we support. Key Source Pharmaceuticals, StemCore, Steelhead Tubular. I'm not going to read all of these, but just an example of some of the customers that we're currently supporting here, both in the United States and many more of those worldwide. Next slide, Pratik. These are some of the services or industries that we provide services for. As we mentioned earlier, we offer professional services, solutions for subsidiaries, distribution and supply chain, machinery and components, which we've done a lot of work in terms of manufacturing sector, consumer products, food and beverage, fashion and beauty, banking and finance, online media, public sector, government, education, healthcare and travel, automotive, retail, manufacturing, wholesale, logistics, chemical, which we have many of those customers, and of course the entertainment industry. So a wide variety of areas that we can fit. Our goal is to make sure we understand what your requirements are and then act accordingly in terms of how we provide technology and digital transformation for your company. Next slide, Pratik.
Yeah, I guess that's where I take it over. So thank you.
Oh, this is, yeah, I didn't realize we're already at the end of my part of the presentation, so I apologize for that. So I'm going to hand it over to Pratik, and as I mentioned, Pratik's our SAP functional architecture and very diverse in terms of his background in technology, and he's going to go over the rest of the presentation here. And as I mentioned, as part of the sales team, we will contact you individually and answer any specific questions you've got. But as we go through this today, please feel free to put your questions in the chat, and we'll make sure that we answer those at the end of this call. So given that, I'm going to go ahead and turn my screen off to save on the bandwidth, and I'll hand it over to Pratik.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. So yeah, hello, everyone. And the voice you will hear for the next 45 minutes is Pratik Odhavia. I'm going to turn off my camera so that, I can probably utilize, my multiple screens here, and I can also wear my specs as well. Okay, I hope you can hear me loud and clear now. All right. So yeah. Before I get into the solution demonstration, what I really wanted to touch base on the big data, since the topic is, data to decision, I really wanted to touch base on a very important aspect of any small or medium enterprises is called a big data. So what is this big data challenge everyone talks about? Yeah. Imagine when you were small, it was easy to manage your business. Yeah. And taking those crucial decisions were easier. Now, when you start growing, 5 people become 5 departments, and every department will have different software solutions, like, you probably have an accounting, payroll, warehouse management, or a manufacturing solution. Now, let us add another dimension to this problem, and that could be the timeline moves. As you move from days to months and months to years, the data keep growing, and preparing a company-wide analysis becomes really cumbersome and time-consuming. A lot of reliance on the IT team in order to extract the data, slow reporting, difficult to get to the right piece of information, and integration across all the solution is a nightmare situation. Believe me or not, this is true. Uh, there is a nice little survey being conducted by a company. Let me just move to the next one. Yeah, okay. So there is a company called Aberdeen Group who has done this research, and they have picked up specifically the small and medium enterprises in order to understand how much they are affected, with this big data challenge. And some of the statistics which I'm going to show you are really, really interesting. So very first thing it talks about is 45% of the customer feel the data formats are absolutely inaccessible or underused in analysis. 35% of the customer feel the data volume is growing too rapidly and absolutely uncontrollable. 39% feel data is too siloed because you have been using a lot of different solutions and information is not shared across application and business area. And hence, the consolidation become a super challenge. 51% in fact feel it takes too long to get the information or to retrieve the information. Now, these are some realistic challenge, yeah, and they are really enlightening. And this is really affecting how the small and medium enterprise operate or perform into the world today. Now, how can we solve this problem? Yeah, I mean, as a small and medium business owners or the process owners, you cannot expect to invest heavily into creating a completely different landscape to prepare your analytical platform. That's not the solution. Yeah, you probably need a solution which can give you a complete full scale or a comprehensively integrated or built-in solution as a business intelligence suite, ready to use, and easy to consume. It can help you prepare various ad hoc analysis. It can give you real-time analysis or real-time access. A seamless user experience with absolutely lesser IT reliance or in-house consulting team reliance. And at the end of the day, it has to be affordable and cost effective, isn't it? Now, in the similar line, SAP has already started, investing in. So this is the feedback, when they captured the feedback from across the customer, across the market base, they decided to come up with this breakthrough technology that's called HANA. It's called High Analytical Appliance. Now, SAP Business One is powered by HANA today. So I don't want to get into a lot of technical stuff here, but this is how the architecture would look like. Yeah, traditionally, you will always have the transactional database, which I can try and point here. Transaction database is always different from the analytical database. So these are two different boxes, and they need to talk to each other in order to get you the analysis. Yeah. Now, what SAP Business One has done, they have put together both the transaction and the analytical services bundled up in a seamless database, which is called HANA, and it is actually architected inside the in-memory. So it's an in-memory computing technology, what you will see with the HANA, which allows you to slice and dice and retrieve the information at a speed of a light or a speed of a thought. That's how fast it is. If you look at SAP, analysis and find out the statistics again, compared to any traditional database technology, SAP HANA is 10,000 times faster than any traditional database technology out there in the market. Okay, that's fast how it is. Now, before I get into the analytics or the business intelligence piece of the solution, it's very important to understand, how does the business one look like? So this is a very good overview with regards to understanding what SAP Business One stands for. In fact, what you see is not a London Tube metro map. It's actually Business One process metro map. So on your left-hand side, starting with, creating the leads or the opportunity. So we have a complete CRM embedded inside an ERP solution. Once the lead converts into a customer, you have the entire quote to cash cycle, starting from the quote to cash. And on the supplier side, you have the entire purchase request quotation to payment. So procure to pay cycle, anything to do with the production activity, or anything to do with the warehouse management, the inventory transfer, this is a comprehensively integrated solution. If you look at the red dotted line here, it cut across all the modules because it's a financials and finance is the heart of our solution. So it's a comprehensively integrated solution, which is available now with 50 plus country specific localization. So you don't have to worry about your taxation and the statutory requirements. And it also comes with a 28 different language options. So it's a truly global application, starting from 5 user up till 1,000 users across the world. If you want a seamless solution, then Business One is the answer for you. Okay. Now today, I'm not going to focus a lot about Business One and the functionality and how the data has been captured. I'm going to focus more on the analytical feature of our solution with HANA. Now, what I'm going to focus as part of my solution demonstration is I'm going to show you, how those pre-delivered dashboards and the KPIs can be created on your cockpit view. And I can create number of different role specific cockpit, like, for the financial manager or the CFO or the CEOs. We can also look for various information with the nice little search option available. We call it as a Google-like enterprise search. So, with the help of any keywords, it will retrieve information. Pervasive analytics will allow you to slice and dice with the help of the dimension and the measures. You will be able to create your own custom or ad hoc dashboards and the KPIs. We'll also touch base on the cash flow forecasting, a very important tool for the CFO when you want to take a strategical decision in terms of, do you want to expand your new branch? You want to expand to a new country? You need those tools in your hand so that you can make those strategical decisions. So we'll look at the cash flow forecasting. And we cannot forget about those warehouse people. There is an inventory forecasting. So based upon, again, various statistical models and the algorithms, SAP Business One is powering or enabling those warehouse manager to prepare those intelligent forecast. And based upon that, you decide what you want to procure and what you want to produce. Last but not the least, I'll touch base on the interactive analysis. Now, irrespective of any solution which you use, you will love to go back to your Excel. So with an Excel, with an interactive analysis, it allows you to further slice and dice and, represent your data in a different spreadsheets. So without wasting a lot of time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump to my solution screen. I'm going to stop sharing here, or probably move to my SAP Business One login page. I hope you can see now the white square boxes and the navy blue background on it.
Yeah,
so what you're seeing right now, yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Tom. That really helps. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is a home cockpit of a manager, and I'm a CFO or a financial manager. That's the reason I get to see, only the specific information pertaining to my business or my department. So I get to see the payables overdues, receivable overdues, top 5 customers by receivables or top 5 vendors by payable, including my entire workflow or a workbench. These are some of the best practices. So I can create, or I can also deploy some of the custom workflows based upon my best practices. Now, white square boxes, we call as a KPI. And as you hover around, you get to see those information. And so the dashboards, like, bar graphs or the line graphs, what you see are called the dashboards. Now, let's see, how it can really seamlessly update the information here. Yeah, I have created a common functions, by the way. So if you want, where are the modules? So these are all my modules here. And I can create some of the shortcuts. So for an example, I want to probably create maybe an AR invoice. So right here, I can click on this AR invoice and it actually takes me to the AR invoice. Okay, now let's understand how the data has been created. Yeah, this is just one of the examples. So if I know the name of the customer, I can fill in the name of the customer, say Veritas. Okay, now before I do that, let's see, what happens on my dashboard or my cockpit view. So can you see the receivable overdues, which has updated with the 921.74K? And I have got, this KPI has been updated with 24 open AR invoices. Okay, let's go ahead and see, how quickly it can actually create or seamlessly it can update the information. So I probably creating this AR invoice for a con. So that's an item I'm selling. Maybe I'm doing it for 1,000 quantity. And as long as I have the, right or an option, I can actually go ahead and update the price list. Yeah, so I'm overriding the base price list. I want to add some numbers so that, it shows up nicely. All right, so the AR invoice has been created, and I'm gonna go ahead and enter this. This is a lot track or a batch track item, so that's the reason it is actually asking me that, do you want to select the lots or the batch? I'm doing this without a delivery. That's the reason, it has to update the lots or the batches which I'm delivering. Okay, so I have created this AR invoice, and I'm go ahead and say yes to everything. So the AR invoice number 70 has been added into the system. Okay, and once I go back to my cockpit, and there is a nice little refresh button, so I can click on it, and I want to see if the data is seamlessly impacting or updating on my home cockpit. There you go. So my receivable overdues has been updated with 1.05 million, yeah, because there is a new invoice which is outstanding, and 24 open AR invoices has turned into 25. And again, right here, if you want, some of the KPIs can allow you to drill down. So if you click on it, it takes you to the list of all the 25 different open invoices. And again, there are golden arrows. So if you want, you can click on those golden arrows like 70 number, and it actually takes you to the transaction level. Okay, so moving from transaction level or to operational information to the financial information, looking at various information right here from the cockpit is very, very easy to do. Okay, so that's called real time. Yeah, the moment the data has been entered, you get to see the impact on your dashboard, and based upon that, and you will be able to understand where do I stand when it comes to my business. If I want to make any changes to the existing cockpit view, I can do that. So just click on this edit option. It allows me to, move around certain things or drop some of the KPIs or the dashboard. There is a nice little widget gallery available, which allows you, to bring in more pre-configured KPIs and the dashboard. So there are hundreds of them, and that's the reason it's taking a couple of seconds. So there are hundreds of KPIs in the dashboard, which are absolutely built in and available for the user to select. Again, lesser IT reliance. You will not be looking forward to working with your team, IT team, or the consulting team in order to prepare those analysis, because they are right there for you. You can filter your views by dashboards. You can filter your views by KPIs. There are also workbench in terms of, some of the best practices you want to set up. You can also search it, by the way. For an example, I want to search maybe a sales specific dashboard. So there you go. It has now filtered my view. I'm looking at maybe top 5 best selling items, top 5 customers, or a revenue versus gross profit analysis. I can bring this information, update my cockpit, and there you go. If you scroll down below, that's it. You have all this information seamlessly updated on your home cockpit. By the way, those cockpit, I can create multiple role specific cockpit. So depending upon the different user and the user base, so for an example, I want to create something maybe for the sales manager or a sales director. So this entire cockpit view will change now to a sales manager or a sales director cockpit view. Again, you get to see the completely different sales process as my best practice in terms of the workflow. And I have got a different KPIs and the dashboard available for a sales manager or a sales director. Okay, simple and easy. So with SAP Business One powered by HANA, SAP is trying to bring a lot of user friendliness. You can see how easy it is, yeah, to derive to various information or to extract various information. Let's look at one of the example. For an example, I'm looking at some information. So there is an enterprise search. So where is it? I click here. It opens up a nice little bar for me. I can put down some number here, or maybe I can put down some keyword. So let's understand I'm looking at a sales order number 8, just for an example. Okay, so I entered only 8. And what it is doing now, it's going through the entire database. My database must be 2.5 GB worth of data. And you will see how fast it has pulled up 10,532 resources, which has 8 embedded across the documents. Now I'm looking at a sales order. So I got a couple of filters here. Yeah, so there you go. I click on sales order. So 10,000 plus resources turns into 17. It helps me. 8 is highlighted for me in green. So that's the one I'm looking for. I click on it and it actually allows me to get inside that document. So a lot of flexibility in terms of, getting to various information. And again, you can do this, with the help of those enterprise search. Okay. And if you again want to find out what exactly happened to this transaction, just right click. There's a relationship map. So again, you will be able to take various decisions even now at the transactional level. So there is a relationship map. So it's not only about, entering the data, it's also about connecting the dots, making sense with the data. And here is one of the example, where the quotation was created, there was an order. When you receive the customer purchase order, there was an advance payment done, and then there was an invoice, based upon the services we have delivered. Okay, so you get to see all this information at a quick glance. We call this as a 360 view or a relationship map at every transaction level. Again, help you take those decisions and able to communicate very confidently with the customer, which eventually give you, a lot of trust from your customer. All right. Now, the next one I want to talk about is the pervasive analytics, because again, we keep talking about relying on a consultant like us in order to prepare various analysis. But how about we give you that tool and you will be able to do it yourself? So one of the example is the pervasive analytics, which actually allows you to prepare your custom KPIs and the dashboard. Okay, let's look at one of the example of creating a new dashboard here. So I'll say, and again, I mean, you don't have to worry. There are certain queries which are written, which we call as system written queries. So those queries are available for you to pick and choose from. So these are all given to the user out of the box. I have not created for this demonstration. Okay. Or if you know the database structure, you can always create maybe your own query. So I created this query. And so this is my query, which is quite lengthy. And I have this result here, which is in a tabular format, which I kind of do not like it. So what I can do, I can bring this information and I can now slice and dice. So that's called ad hoc slice and dice analysis. Yeah. So I'm going to pull up my revenue. I'm going to pick up some of the measures as a revenue versus profit, and I want to do it by customers. By the way, you can also, further slice and dice and say that I want to do this maybe sorted by descending, or I want to use various calculations. Yeah. And I'll say maybe I want to do it by top 10 customer, top 5 customers, and there is a nice little bar graph is updating for me. Okay, it's a column chart. If you like a pie chart, you can do that as well. You decide how you want to prepare your view, and then you decide where you want to broadcast this information to. So do you want to attach those KPIs or the dashboards to some of the sidebars or bring it to your cockpit view? Excuse me. One of the example here is like, I want this dashboard to be updated with my business partner master record. That means every now and then when I see the customer record, it should update or it should give me those insight with regards to, what is the sales versus revenue or GP analysis specific to every customer. Okay, so I'm going to close this window and I'm going to bring up my business partner master record. And I can again pick up, this Veritas as a customer. On my right hand side, can you see there is a sidebar here? And this is where you will see now your gross profit analysis. And as and when I hover around to the next record, you will see now this is the next customer, C00110, the manufacturing company, and it has got a completely different GP analysis. By the way, I can also host multiple such dashboards attached to those sidebars. Like for an example, for the same customer, Veritas Corporation, I'm probably looking at all my top sales employees. Who are my top sales employees, or what are my top selling items, with this customer. I can create those dashboards and host it just right next to the marketing document, such as customer record or a sales order or a sales invoice. Okay, again, quick and easy insight to various information and, a very, very powerful tool. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Now, we spoke about, the interactive analysis. So there is an Excel-based interactive analysis built in. So again, you have the power of using this entire SAP Business One suite, which has got hundreds and thousands of different type of reporting tools. But there is no denying fact that, I can take away, those Excel-based reporting. Yeah, so that's why SAP Business One has got this built-in solution which allows you to layer it down, segment it, and then prepare your own analysis in Excel. So just for an example, on the inventory side, maybe I want to probably create an inventory by item group. So when I click here, it actually opens up nice little Excel report. So what you see right now is all this informations are being extracted from the live data and brought it into your Excel sheet. Yeah, and this is, by the way, an Excel. So you can color code it. You decide, how you want to play around with this information. Maybe I want to sort this information or filter it, and I'll say maybe largest to smallest. Uh, yeah, so this is an Excel. You can play around the way you want it. The best part about this Excel-based interactive analysis is once you save this Excel file and you come back after your holiday, maybe after a month or 6 months, and you open this Excel sheet, this will be updated with the real-time information. Okay, so you don't have to redo this again and again and again. Again, save a lot of time and analysis. To believe me or not, I have seen so many of my customers who are using those Excel-based interactive analysis tool during those board meetings. Yeah, when you want to really create multiple spreadsheets, multiple tabs, and want to discuss those financial numbers. So these are really important tools available right out of the box with SAP Business One. All right. Now, since I'm a finance manager, I can definitely cannot forget to talk about the cash flow forecasting. So there is a nice little tool available, which is very, very interactive, by the way, which allows you to prepare your own cash flow forecast. Now, again, we have seen a lot of customers being demanding for this cash flow forecast because eventually they want to understand how healthy or how bad their cash flow is. And based upon that, they want to see, like, how can I expand my business? Or is this a time that I really need to be conservative and work upon my, cash collection? All right, so this is a nice little tool available. Again, very, very interactive. So I can decide, what is that I want to factor in while I prepare this cash flow forecast, like outgoing payment, my incoming payment, any expense forecast, any sales forecast, any recurring postings, recurring transactions, or any blanket agreements out there in the market. So I can pick them up, and you will notice it will start updating, all my analysis. I can also use the scroller. So for an example, starting from March, maybe today, till, I want to do it maybe till August. Yeah. So I can decide the scroller, understand the timeline. I can do it for entire year. I can do it for quarter or maybe 6 months. Okay. And now you will notice it has started preparing those analysis. So something in blue, it talks about your, incoming payment. And if you click on it, it actually takes you to all those different AP invoices, okay, which are outstanding and which you are likely to make the payment against. Okay. Now, what you see on the graphical format, it's exactly something available in a tabular format. So that gives you more drill down options. Like for an example, you want to see all those different AR invoices which are outstanding over the period of time. And I want to see all those details. So click on here. It shows up all the different invoices. And in fact, the one very recently I created, invoice number 70, has been already updated. And again, there is a golden arrow. You can click on it and you can get insight to those documents as well. Okay. Now, in order to make your selection criteria, there are few more options here. Like, in order to define the certainty level, it's configurable. Yeah. So for an example, I want my AP invoices and AR invoices to be a certainty level 2. I can just drag and drop those parameters. Yeah. Or maybe my AR invoices are definitely certainty level 1. Or maybe AP invoices are certainty level 2 because you are very responsible towards your supplier. Yeah. In order to make those payments. So I can drag around certain things, in order to change the certainty level and then rerun those simulation. And that's it. Yeah. You can also increase, I want to include all the lowest certainty while I do my cash flow forecast. So simple and easy. Now, based upon that, you'll be able to take various decisions. You can also export this information out into an Excel or a PDF, and then you can further do a slice and dice with it. Okay. So that's a cash flow forecast for the financial manager. But as I promised you, I will also touch base on the inventory forecast tool. So let me quickly take you there. On the MRP, there is a material requisition planning module built in. There is a forecast available. And this forecast can be as simple as you like. So let me pick up something which I have already created for the demo. Forecast for 2025. Okay, so there is an item called speaker high definition. If I click, and I can quickly show you, everyone can correlate with the high definition speaker. Yeah, it's made of the panels, the cords, the tweeters, and the woofers. So this is my bill of material structure. Yeah, And this is my finished good, final finished good being the high definition speaker. And I'm saying for a specific warehouse location, these are all the different quantity which I'm planning to sell over the period of time. So I can create monthly, weekly, or a daily forecast. Okay, right now it's a monthly forecast. So this is a manual way to create a forecast. But if you need an intelligent forecast, there is an option here. Just click here. It actually takes you inside the intelligent forecast. Now, please understand, uh, it has been powered by the predictive analytics. Okay, so there are advanced algorithms and the statistical model, which are absolutely built in with this tool to analyze the large volume of data, which allows you to predict future demand patterns. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first, clearly, I'm gonna pick up, do I want to do it by item or by vendor or by warehouse? I want to do it by item. So I can pick up this item very quickly. If I know the code, I can fill in the code, or there is always a lookup, to actually look up this information. So I'll say maybe the same item, FG001. Now, the next one I will select here is the historical information. So do I want to factor in the historical sales order, historical deliveries, or historical AR invoices? How do I want to prepare my forecast based upon? Yeah. Plus, there are also some of the built-in statistical model available, built-in algorithms for you to select. The very first one is the TESM. So it talks about the triple exponential smoothing. And the next one, which is LRDTSA, it talks about linear regression with damped trend and seasonal adjust. Now, these are two different statistical models are used to predict the future demand based on the historical sales data, automatically taking into account trends, the seasonality, allowing for more accurate inventory planning within the system. If you want to choose any one of them, you can, or if you want the system to choose automatically, then you can just select the automatic selection. And I just hit the forecast. That's it. Okay. So now it has started preparing some forecast for me based upon the past historical sales order number. So what you see on the graph below on the blue dotted color, that's my past data. And anything in the orange shaded color, these are my forecasted numbers. Now, if you want and understand, this is absolutely driven through that nice little business intelligence with the predictive analytics. If you want to intervene and make some changes, you can also simulate the data. By the way, for example, in this month, I want to probably increase the quantity. Yeah, so you can actually go ahead and make those changes. So it allows you to simulate the data, and you will notice it has started updating the forecast quantity for me. If you are happy with this, what you can do, just save and close, and it will fill up, my table over here as well. Okay, so that's how simple and easy to prepare your, inventory forecast as well. Now, once those forecasts are built in, let me quickly show you, where do you see the real decision making in terms of the procurement and in terms of the production. So there is a nice little MRP wizard available. It's a step-by-step guide basically. So it allows you to pick up, your intelligent forecast, which you have created. So I'm going to zip through very quickly. So in the very first screen, it talks about, the planning horizon, the days, and what are your recommendation you want to present, like production or the purchasable items. In the next screen, it talks about, the item selection. So I picked up only one item, yeah, because that's an item I have created a forecast for. Do I want to do this for, run this MRP across the warehouse locations or across the company location if you have a multiple companies? Okay. It also allows you to factor in different set of information, like do you want to include the historical data? Do you want to include the planning horizon? Do you want to consider or factor in the historical or the future dated sales order, future dated blanket agreements, future dated production order which are out there, or any purchase order which are already been executed and you're expecting a future dated deliveries, including the minimum quantity, the minimum stock has to be maintained, and I also want to consume the forecast. Okay, so I factor in all this information and I'll just run, and that's it. Now it's going to generate a report for me, which will tell me exactly, when and how much to procure and when and how much to produce. So I'm going to expand this information. If you notice, when I started my, selection, I picked up only one high definition speaker. Yeah. But it is now suggesting, like, in order to prepare those high definition speaker, you also need these raw materials. Yeah. Like a woofer, tweeter, bottom panel, front panel, so on and so forth. Yeah, and you will notice it has not suggested everything. Yeah, because you probably have some of the items in stock. So there is no recommendation given for all the items as per the bill of material structure. Okay. Now, if you notice, like, there is a forecast quantity coming in. So you'll see what is my initial inventory, what is my supply, or what is my demand in this case. So demand is coming through the forecast. If you click on it, it takes you to the detail, like this is the forecasted demand. Yeah. It is coming through the forecast, which I have created. If there are any sales order, coming in, so you'll see that these are the future dated sales order on the 9th of April. And this sales order is going to create another, demand generation into the system. Okay. And similarly, as you scroll down, you will see all the raw materials which has been recommended over the period of time. And if you scroll down, you'll get to see all my initial inventory, the supply, demand, and the final inventory. You will see the 11 remains static throughout because that's the minimum stock I want to maintain. Yeah. So system is smart enough to tell me exactly how much to produce. In the recommendation tab, now you will see all the different production orders, all the different purchase orders. In terms of the quantity, the execution date, you'll notice, like, some of the items are recommended like way in advance because there is a lead time to procure those items. So it will factor in all these details and tell you exactly when you need to release those. It also tells you in case of purchase order, it also can tell you or suggest you like who is the recommended vendor and at what price you can actually buy this item. Okay. I just love this tool because it gives you amazing amount of automation and it allows you to run your inventory at an optimum level because now you're driving your decisions based on various statistical models, business intelligence, and the algorithms which are built inside SAP Business One. All right. So I'm not going to do various actions because clearly this is more specific to do with the business intelligence, and we are more than happy to interact with you, just to take you through a comprehensive demonstration. Yeah. You can always reach out to our sales team so that we can, or probably look for any other webinars which we do in the future as well. All right. Now, the interface which I'm using right now is specifically meant for people who are in the office. Okay, there is also an interface available for the people who are continuously out on the go, or they're continuously busy and they're traveling across the globe to get the business, like your salespeople or your CEOs or the service manager. There is a nice little web client available for Business One. Now this is touch inducive, so that's the reason you see a different layout when you see the web client. If you like that old classical SAP Business One view, so these are all the different modules here. Yeah, so you can actually access anything and everything, what you can do it from the desktop application. But I like this view because this is more conducive to use on your tablets or on your mobile phone. For an example, I'm looking at maybe some sales specific information. It allows me to look at all this information or create various documents. For an example, I'm looking at AR invoice. So there you go. It actually pops up the list for all the open AR invoices right now. And you will notice even on the web client, the number 70 has been updated, which I have created in the beginning of the presentation. Yeah. If you don't like the view, I can then further slice and dice even on the web client. Yeah. So maybe I want to prepare some analysis. So what I can do, there are again various segmentation dimensions. So I can pick up maybe by year, and I probably want to do it by my customers. Yeah. So I can pick up my customer name, and there you go. There's a nice little line graph. If you don't like line graph, prepare a bar chart. So 2024, 2025 customer specific analysis. Yeah. Simple and easy. And again, everything is built in and available with even the web client. So don't worry, even if you're outside the office, you still will be in control of everything happen inside your business. In fact, in the web client, they have created a complete analytics built in and given to the users. So for an example, I want to probably look at maybe sales analysis. So I created this nice little cockpit view for a sales, and I have got a lot of dashboards and the KPIs which are built in here. So in fact, they are all of them are the dashboards. So looking at a sales amount by year, sales and the profit by month, quarter, top 20 sales item, maybe top 10 customer sales. And when you're looking at this dashboard, it's not only for the interactive purpose or probably visualization purpose, you can further interact with it. So drill down within those dashboards. So if I click on it, it takes you inside the top 10 customer view. Okay, again, this is a nice little table format. But again, if you want to make those changes, slice and dice, and prepare your analysis the way you want it. Okay, simple and easy. Plus, you always have those nice little options. Like for an example, I want to export this information out into an Excel. So just one click. And again, there is intuitiveness even with this web client. So there is an Excel sheet which has been created for you, and it allows you to export all the data even right there from the web client. So that it's created a net sales amount because that's a dimension I have selected. Okay. So it's seamless and it's real time. Maybe let's look at another example here. For a warehouse manager out there, I want to probably understand, my all the inventory movements across the different warehouses. So again, I have created a nice little view for all those inventory transaction taking place inside an ERP solution. So I'm looking at an inbound versus outbound inventory quantity view, or by value, and also by transactions. So if I click on it, it actually takes me to this, more detailed dashboard view where you're looking at all this information by every transaction which takes place inside Business One. And by the way, there are various filters as well on top here. So if you want to further filter your views, you can actually start doing it. For an example, I want to probably pick up the business partner code here. So I want to, since I'm looking at the transaction view here, that's the reason what I will do. I'll pick up maybe one of the customer. Yeah. So as long as you know the code, you can write down the code. So C001. So that's my customer. And I'll probably pick up maybe one of the vendor as well. So V001 Cosmos Limited. So these are the customer and the vendor I have selected. So you decide, how on what criteria you want to run various analysis. So I picked up those customer detail and I'll say hit go. And now you will see only the details pertaining to this customer and this vendor. So anything to do with the inbound, it has been highlighted in blue. Anything in an outbound, it is highlighted as the orange. Okay, and again, if as you click here, it actually tells you the details of all those goods receipt. Okay, or anything to do with the deliveries. If you click here, you will get to see the snap view of this information in terms of the value as well. Okay, nice and easy. So we are not taking away this from any of the remote users. You will be able to slice and dice, and you will also be able to make a lot of strategical decisions while you are on the go. And I have seen, many of my customers, believe me or not, they're sitting on a nice little Hawaii beach and enjoying their vacation. They're still approving those sales order, important purchase order, and they're still in super greater control with regards to their business while they're still holidaying because they are getting to see all this information in absolutely real time. Okay. Now, the last topic which I probably want to take up is maybe I can go back to the PowerPoint. So we have already looked at all those analytical features. We have also looked at the web client, which is built in. Last but not the least, what I want to really touch base on the silver touch, and what is the kind of commitment we are showing as a SAP Business One partner. And there is a lot of buzz, to be very honest, about the AI, the artificial intelligence, and what SAP Business One or what the partner base is doing when it comes to the adoption of artificial intelligence and bring a lot of value proposition to the customer. So let me introduce our own solution. This is our own proprietary solution that's called a B1 Analytics Cloud. It actually can give you a fabulous personalized experience when you actually when I move to the presentation side. But by personalizing various capabilities, companies can interact with their cockpit. You can derive meaningful information for strategical decision making. So again, very intuitive tool which I'm just about to introduce, but it also has a chatbot. Again, we've been receiving a lot of feedback from our customers as well, like can we have those chatbots really working on top of ERP solution so that we can ask the question and we can derive or get to the right piece of information. So we have this solution available that's called a B1 Analytics Cloud, which can give you a fabulous user experience. So with that, what I'll do, I'm gonna share my screen again. So this is my home page for the Business Analytics Clouds. By the way, this is again a web-based solution, so you can access it from anywhere you want it. So there is a user ID and a password with which you can log in, and I can create multiple different cockpit view. Okay, again, like a personalized experience. For an example, I want to probably look at the sales specific, dashboard, a kind of a cockpit view. Now, why would I say it gives you personalized experience? Because with SAP Business One, there is a limitation when it comes to, how much you can play around with the information. With B1 Analytic Clouds, because it is powered by Tableau, it allows us to, slice and dice at a or a multiple dimension level. Okay. So I'm looking at a sales order analysis here. In fact, I can expand this view so that you get to see the whole view here. Yeah, this is much better. Now, for an example, I'm looking at maybe a quarter. I only want to see maybe quarter 1 analysis. So what I can do, I can just apply this filter. And now you see the entire dashboard changes to the quarter specific information. Okay, maybe I want to combine Q1 and Q2. Now you get to see all these details changing for Q1 and Q2. There are nice little geographical graphs here. So for an example, if I click here, now it actually takes me to only the sales being done in the United States. Okay. Similarly, if I drag around, and probably want to see the information maybe in Europe, I can just move around and see those information in real time. So I'm personalizing my experience, by just clicking and slicing and dicing the information right here from the cockpit. There are no prompts required. There are no chatbots required. I can literally interact with it. Similarly, if you hover around, you get to see the snap view of, this 14,000 as a value for the GB printers. You get to see, like all the details are broken down. Okay. I can create multiple such views like on-time delivery, or maybe what is my order fulfillment ratio would look like. How does my back order or a customer balance would look like over the period of time? Yeah. And it's seamless. It is real time. It is integrated with SAP Business One. So whatever information you see is absolutely true to the value. Okay. Now let's look at some of the chatbots which are built in with this solution. Okay. So I can interact now. So I can ask the questions. For an example, show me highest sold items. For an example, just for an example. Yeah. I can use any keywords here and I'll say enter. So it gives me the prompt. It tells me, okay, what do you mean by that? So it says which item had high sales, which item very high sales. I'll say, okay, this looks like good. Or maybe which item group had high sales. I say, I'm looking at an item specific analysis. So I click on it. And now what it has done, it has actually pulled out the information, not only in terms of the data. Yeah, so it talks about all the items which had higher sales, but it has also created the dashboard for me. Isn't this fantastic? Yeah. And again, you can work around with those chatbots and you can ask a lot of any stupid questions and it can give you more relevant information. Like for an example, I want to look at maybe lowest sold items. So again, it will give me the prompt like, what do you mean by that? What are you looking at specifically? Okay. So it says which item had low sales. Fair enough. Okay. And now it gives me the representation of all the items which had lower sales, and the dashboard is also created. Now, as and when you slice and dice, with those chatbots as well, there are also breakdowns available. So do you want to see those information by shipping country or by item group or by customer group or by document type, customer, employees, or an item? So there are number of ways, it can help you prepare those analysis, and it can help you take those nice little strategical decisions at your fingertips. You don't have to worry about talking to your IT folks, rushing around into the office, consolidating the information, pulling the information, extracting it, and then spending a lot of time in just consolidating this information. This is now available absolutely out of the box with SAP Business One, powered by HANA, and also now powered by the B1 Analytics Cloud. That's the story from my side. We still have 5 more minutes, Tom. I think so we can utilize for any questions we have from our audience. By the way, this is just for your, this is just a very high level overview presentation, and we are more than happy to actually do the one-to-one interaction and can give you a deep dive solution presentation as well. Over
Yeah,
to you,
thanks for
Tom.
that, Pratik. You did a good job presenting that. I know it's difficult for everybody on the call today to hit all the issues that are important to each company in a very general overview like this, but hopefully we came across with what the technology is capable of doing. I see we don't have any questions in the chat, which means that we either did a really good job or we put a few people to sleep today. But either way, what we'd really like to do is have the opportunity to discuss what your specific issues are individually. And what we're actually capable of doing is to actually take some of your data loaded into our data system and actually show you a proof of concept based on what your specific issues are with your current automation system. So we'd like to have the opportunity to perform that for each of you. What we'll do is we'll reach out to contact each person individually to see how we can help you in terms of your automation moving forward. Any additional questions that we have from the team or from the group that's out here? If you want to quickly edit into the chat, we'll answer those questions. If not, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and reach out to each one of you individually. All right, very good. I think we've accomplished what we wanted to accomplish in today's meeting. And like I mentioned, we will reach out to each participant individually and see how we can help you with your automation processes.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thanks for your time, everyone, for your time. We certainly appreciate it.
Really appreciate it. Thank you for your time and attention. Yeah, you take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye now.